It is a small, conventional three-axis aeroplane that was developed in New Zealand. However, its magnificent features include superb handling and an excellent safety track record, has placed it in a niche of its own. The Bantam was originally designed as a toy, not only for the financially privileged.
The Bantam's main advantage is the affordability. A six-cylinder Bantam with a 120 horse engine is cheaper than most 4x4 buckies.
The Bantam team has proved its commitment to the safety of its clients and the reliability of its aeroplanes by giving attention to the finest details.
Bantams are built to a very high aviation standard with all hardware. That's bolts and nuts and cables and swages, and anything that's used on a Bantam is aircraft standard AN certified bolts and nuts.
Several power plants are now available, ranging from a very dependable 2-cylinder to a perky 6-cylinder, with ease of maintenance and reliability, the motivation behind Bantam's choice of engines.
Our Jabiru engines are incredibly cheap and easy to maintain and operate. The oil filter is a Toyota Corolla. You buy it at any Midas shop. Spark plugs, you buy at a Midas shop. There's no expensive aircraft spares that need to be bought to maintain this engine. They run on MoGas, that's 95 octane motor car fuel. It's much cheaper to use than avgas. We do recommend avgas for the initial run-in.
The wings and the aircraft body are covered by a strong material that has a very long lifespan.
Many people ask us what happens if you fire a bullet at the Bantam, gets a hole in it. That's not a problem. When we assemble Bantams, to get to the top of this bolt head, we have to cut it to put a spanner on there, and then you just put a little round patch on. This fabric can't tear. There's no ways you can tear it in any direction. So if you get a hole, you put a little patch on.
Its exceptional capabilities drew the attention of a wide variety of people who use it for diverse functions.
These aircraft are particularly suited to the conservation industry in that they can fly very slowly. If you put full flap on, you can cruise along at 25 knots, which is very slow and ideal for surveillance.
In fact, in the conservation field, there is an added advantage. Its takeoff and landing requirements make it almost possible to put it down and get back into the air from most service roads.
This aircraft has fantastic visibility, having the engine up and out of your line of sight, and no high instrument panels that the normal aeroplane has. So you have incredible visibility.
In fact, the Bantam has filled the niche between extremely expensive helicopter time and cumbersome vehicle patrols. South Africa's flagship game reserve, the Kruger National Park, now has several of these little aircraft in use, and Section Ranger Stephen Whitfield has found various new applications for it. Combined with computer technology, the effect of controlled fires is evaluated and assists in the management of this massive game reserve. Due to its very low flying speed, it is easy to spot dead or injured animals from the air. And as part of his work, Stephen can inform wildlife veterinarians who determine the cause of death of an animal. Not surprisingly, the Bantam is now one of the most valued tools available to many conservationists. Its exceptional stability under most conditions makes it safe to patrol narrow valleys, and low flying to inspect aquatic life in rivers is now a breeze. And that is also the case in the associated private nature reserves, where Bruce MacDonald has found numerous uses for his aeroplane.
Bantam has various applications it can be used for in conservation. In fact, they're almost unlimited. In fact, we're doing a lot of work that can normally be done by helicopters at a fraction of the cost. We do things ranging from game counts, game census counts, research on animals, tracking animals with satellite collars, aerial photography, do a lot of vegetation mapping, erosion mapping, compiling vegetation surveys for research purposes. Another useful application that has been very successful of late is anti-poaching, as well as picking up other insurgents in conservation areas. I think what will happen in the future is that these aircraft will be used extensively for anti-poaching purposes in conservation throughout Africa. The most important part.
And judging by the demand for training to use these aircraft for conservation purposes, it is clear that Bantam aeroplanes have long been the missing link in the toolbox of conservationists all over Africa. For African conditions, there is also a new addition.
We're busy developing a Bantam that can be operated in desert conditions. Somebody in Chad is looking for 2 Bantams that can land in the desert and land on beaches and land in very soft sand. We've busy getting this certified now. She's got a much larger nose wheel and longer shock absorbers and a very large main gear tyre at the back for better flotation. The test flights have been fantastic so far.
Whether for work or play, the Bantam supplies solutions for a variety of applications. Just imagine what you can do with a Bantam.